Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer, not just for the NFC North, but for the entire NFL landscape. There's a lot of buzz swirling around the possibility of a blockbuster trade involving Trent Williams, one of the most dominant offensive linemen in the league, but not with the team you might expect. Instead, it's the San Francisco 49ers, a team that's been in Super Bowl conversations all season, planning to ship Trent Williams out to the New York Giants. That's right. This could be a move that shakes up the division and shifts power in a way that might have far-reaching consequences for the Packers and their quest for another Super Bowl appearance. Sources close to NFL insider Adam Schefter have been whispering that the 49ers, currently sitting at an 8-7 record with about $8 million in cap space, are considering trading away Williams in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft and a backup offensive lineman from the Giants. Why would San Francisco do that? Well, it's all about cap relief and addressing some pressing needs. The 49ers have been dealing with a weak rushing attack, averaging only around 100 yards per game, and injuries in their secondary, with 4 defensive backs currently out. They're looking for a way to free up some cap space, around $15 million, to extend Brock Purdy's contract and keep their core intact for a deep playoff run. This trade, if it goes through, could echo the blockbuster deal of Jason Peters back in 2025, which gave the Philadelphia Eagles a significant boost in their offensive line, improving their pocket time by around 15%. The idea here is that San Francisco might want to do something similar, inject youth and stability into their line, especially with the playoffs approaching. The Giants, sitting at 4-11 and clearly in rebuild mode, are in a different situation. They're looking to clear cap space, especially after losing Andrew Thomas to a hamstring injury that's questionable for Week 17. The Giants are also rumored to be exploring trades involving their draft picks, potentially focusing on acquiring young talent for their offensive line, which has been a weak spot this season. Let's dig deeper into Trent Williams himself, because the guy is a literal mountain on the field. Since entering the league in 2010, Williams has been one of the most consistent and dominant tackles in the NFL. He's a 12-time Pro Bowler and has been graded in the 89-plus range by PFF throughout his career, with a career sack total of just 20/5 snaps. His run-blocking grades are elite, often in the 90s, and in 2025 he's been injury-free, which is a huge plus. In Week 10, he posted a PFF grade of 95. 0 in pass blocking, comparable to some of the best left tackles in history like Joe Thomas. His presence on the line elevates the entire offensive unit, making the run game more explosive and providing the quarterback with much-needed stability. Now, if Williams were to land with the Giants, he would instantly become their anchor on the offensive line. Imagine him protecting Daniel Jones, giving him time to operate and extend plays, or opening lanes for Saquon Barkley to explode through. This kind of upgrade could increase pocket time by about 20%, from 2-3 seconds to nearly 2-8 seconds, huge for a team trying to rebuild and get back into playoff contention. It would also dramatically reduce sacks allowed, perhaps from 50 per year down to around 30, which is a game changer. With this kind of protection, the Giants' rushing yards could jump from roughly 90 yards per game to over 120, giving their offense a much-needed boost and allowing them to control the tempo better. The impact on the Giants' overall prospects would be massive. They're currently ranked near the bottom in offensive yards per game, but with a player like Williams protecting Daniel Jones and creating better run lanes, they could elevate to a mid-tier offense pretty quickly. And for the Giants' front office, this move would be seen as a step toward future success, a way to build around their young core and set the stage for a more competitive team in the coming years. It's a move that could turn the Giants from a team in rebuild mode to a dark horse contender, especially if Williams helps stabilize the line and opens up the running game. But what about the 49ers? Well, this isn't just about cap relief or draft picks. It's also about addressing their vulnerabilities. They've been struggling defensively, allowing around 24 points per game, which is a concern for a team with Super Bowl aspirations. Trading Williams, one of the best linemen in the league, might seem counterintuitive, but it's a strategic move to retool and focus on youth. The 49ers would use the cap space and draft capital to bring in wide receivers and other weapons, aiming to diversify their offense and keep up with high-powered teams. The trade would give them more flexibility to sign rookies and develop young talent, which is vital given their recent injuries and inconsistent OL play. For the Packers, this situation is a reminder of how quickly the NFL landscape can shift. We saw in recent seasons how big trades and strategic cap moves can reshape teams' trajectories. Green Bay has always been about smart roster management and building through the draft, but watching the NFC North and the league as a whole evolve with these kinds of blockbuster trades is both exciting and a little nerve-wracking. It underscores the importance of staying proactive, of always looking for ways to improve and adapt. The Packers, with their strong core and young talent, are in a good position, but to stay competitive, they have to keep an eye on moves like this one, because the NFL is always one trade away from a new chapter. Looking ahead, if the Giants do land Trent Williams, it could accelerate their rebuild and make them a tougher opponent in the NFC. The upgrade on their offensive line would give Daniel Jones more time, help Saquon Barkley find more space, and stabilize their offense. That, in turn, could make them more dangerous in the playoff hunt, or at least a formidable challenge to teams like the Packers who are eyeing that deep postseason run. On the flip side, the 49ers might be losing a future Hall of Famer in Williams, but they see it as a necessary move to secure cap space and draft picks that will help them sustain their success. It's a classic case of short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, and in the NFL, that kind of bold move can often define a franchise's future. But of course, all of this is still in the rumor mill and negotiations are ongoing. The NFL trade deadline isn't until January, and teams often wait until the last minute to finalize these huge deals. Still, the chatter is enough to send shockwaves through the league and get fans talking about what could be next. For the Green Bay Packers fans, it's a reminder that the league is always shifting, always evolving, and staying alert to these developments is crucial. We should keep an eye on how this unfolds because it could change the division, influence draft strategies, or even alter the balance of power in the NFC. As fans, we love the drama, the strategic moves, and the hope that our team will be the next to make a splash. Whether it's a big trade, a breakout player, or a coaching change, the NFL keeps us on the edge of our seats. So, while the Packers focus on their current roster and preparing for the stretch run, we also have to stay tuned to what's happening around the league. Because, who knows? Maybe a move like this one with Trent Williams signals a new wave of change. And we want to be right there, ready to cheer for the next chapter in Green Bay's storied history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Packers have shown resilience and growth this season, especially on defense, but their offensive line remains a work in progress. The addition of a player like Trent Williams, if it were somehow feasible, would be a monumental boost for any team. It's not just about his skills, it's about his leadership, experience, and ability to elevate the entire unit. Green Bay's offensive line has been solid but could use that extra edge, especially with the playoffs approaching. The Packers have been leaning heavily on their young quarterback and a versatile running game, but protecting that QB and creating running lanes is always the foundation for sustained success. In the current NFL landscape, where parity is the name of the game, teams are constantly adjusting, trading, and building for the future. The Packers, with their young core and strategic approach, are positioned well, but there's no denying that moves like the potential Williams trade remind us just how competitive and cutthroat this league really is. Every team is looking for that one move to push them over the edge, to go from good to great, and sometimes it involves bold trades like this one. For the Green Bay faithful, it's all about staying optimistic, supporting the team through thick and thin, and believing that the front office is always working behind the scenes to bring in the pieces needed for another Super Bowl run. The NFL is a league of stories, and this potential trade story could very well be one of the most talked about in the offseason. It's a reminder that even the most stable teams are constantly reevaluating and reshaping their rosters. For the Packers, that means keeping their eyes on the prize while also watching how their division rivals maneuver. Because at the end of the day, the NFL is about competition, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. And who knows, maybe this move or a move like it will be the spark that ignites another Packers Super Bowl journey. So fans, keep your hopes high and your eyes open. The NFL never sleeps, and neither do the Green Bay Packers. We'll be here analyzing every trade, every game, and every moment that brings us closer to football's biggest stage. Stay tuned because the road to the Super Bowl is always full of surprises, and the Packers are right in the thick of it, ready to fight for another championship. And remember, whatever happens, our passion for Green Bay Packers football remains unbreakable. We're in this together, supporting our team through every twist and turn, confident that better days are ahead. Thanks for being part of this incredible journey, and as always, go Pack Go. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and TO, the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.